All right, Paperback Death Pile Nation, box number 22. Let's see what we find. All right, let's go. Guerrilla Tactics in the Job Market. Hardcore. All right. T.S. Eliot, The Wasteland, and Other Poems. Edward Albee, The American Dream and the Zoo Story. Babe, The Legend Comes to Life. Nothing like a Babe Ruth biography. Muni and the Bounty. Looks like a Marlon Brando. Oh, lost you guys. Harry Harrison, The Stainless Steel Rat. Psychoanalysis Observed. Pelican book. Little Sister by Raymond Chandler. All right. What is it? The Doorman Only Knocks Twice. Is that him? Or The Mailman? Something like that? Dostoevsky, The Brothers Karamazov. Everybody tells me this is the one to read if you're going to read Dostoevsky. Never read it. Heard it's nice and heavy. Nice and dark. All right. Thomas Jefferson, For an Intimate History of Jefferson. All right. What do we got here? We have The Kingdom of God and Peace Essays by Tolstoy. That's cool. Oh, look at that vintage sci-fi. Keith Laumer again. Dinosaur Beach. Look at that cover. Look at that cover. Appearing from the remote future, next central Agent Ravel is emplaced in America circa 1936. His mission to undo successive tamperings in the time stream. All right. Needle in a Time Stack by Robert Silverberg. That's an awesome cover. Alan Drury, Capable of Honor. Rosemary by Eric Kuby, an international sensation. Books are falling apart. All right, not on Amazon, it says. All right, let's see what this is. What is this? Panorama of Soviet Lithuanian Literature. All right, Raoult. Inside the Third Reich by Albert Speer. All right, Lugar de Poesía. All right, Place of Poetry, it says. I can't keep this box down, so I'm going to try to open it like that. All right, Vintage Modern Library Books. The Heretic of Sowana by Hauptmann, I think. Another Vintage Modern Library, Mademoiselle Fifi by Maupassant. All right, Homeopathy, an Introductory Guide. Buzzards of Apache Gap and the Return of the Gun Cub. Double feature. St. Urbain's Horseman by Richler. All right, what do we got here? American Literature in the 20th Century with awesome cover art. The Strange Land by Ned Calmer. A savage novel of men and women who fight, love, and die in war. The Greatest Generation. All right. Edward Albee again. Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf? The Day of the Locusts by Nathaniel West with this very disturbing cover art. Moliere, number 3. It has The Misanthrope and a bunch of other stuff. Oh, here's a nice classic of fantasy. The Princess and the Goblin by George MacDonald. Look at that. All those little elves and dwarves and fairies and stuff. You gotta love it. All right. The Mackenzie Break by Sidney Shelley, now a powerful movie. Nothing like some Engels, selected writings, history, economics, social criticism, philosophy, and letters. Marx gets all the credits. No one ever talks about Engels. All right, The American Character by Brogan. Summer of 42. Oh, we got 2 volumes here of The Greek Myths by Robert Graves. How to Buy Stocks, Robin Hood. Johnny, We Hardly Need You. Stage to Painted Creek. The only way the marshal could save the stagecoach was to put guns in the hands of the 3 killers who were his prisoners. Genghis Khan by Harold Lam. Scourge of the Earth. The Complete Book of Birth Control. Criminal Lawyers by Howe and Hummel, Criminal Lawyers. Oh, we got a hardcover in here. The Selection of Hegel. Heavy duty. We get this book a lot. Existentialism, from Dostoevsky to Sartre. Must have been like a common college book. Adolf Schlattler by Werner Neuer. I have no idea who Adolf Schlattler is. He's a theologian professor in Bern, in Berlin, during the war. All right, cool. The Goshawk, or the Ghost-Hawk. The Goshawk? I don't know. By T.H. White. T.H. White wrote the Sword in the Stone and a few other things. An Orderly Man by Dirk Bogarde. The Crippled Tree by Han Suyin. The Sweeping Story of a Turbulent Era in China's History. The Anguish of the Jews. A Catholic priest writes 23 centuries of anti-Semitism. Cleopatra. Oh, is that the... Who was Cleopatra? Was that, Elizabeth Taylor, maybe? I don't know. The Wild Boy of Arion. This is a crazy story. This is some kid they found in the woods being raised by wolves in France in the 1700s. It's a true story. Inside the Third Reich by Albert Speer. Oh, it's another copy of that. The City by Paul Ferris. Dr. Sheehan on running. I think this is the guy who made like jogging popular like in the 70s or something. Saddle Tramp by Todd Hunter Ballard. What's going on here? It's a saddle tramp, peace-loving drifter who bought chips in a range war. Oh, right. Mathematics and the Imagination. This is a World War II Armed Services Edition. That's pretty cool. These are the kind of books that were sort of mass printed and given out to soldiers during the war. The Autobiography of Gibbon, who wrote The Rise and Fall of the Decline and Fall of the Roman Empire. Gibbon. All right, look at that. The Godfather by Puzo, the book, not the movie. Jim Bouton, I'm glad you didn't take it personally. I don't know too much about, I know he's a baseball player and he wrote some books, but I don't know why his books were so popular. I don't know if he was that good of a player or what. 30 Ways to a More Powerful Vocabulary. We got ChatGPT now, we don't need that. Alcestis by Euripides in the classic Penguin Classics cover. Another Herman Hesse book, The Journey to the East. I read Siddhartha. Siddhartha was great. All right, Rodgers and Hammerstein. We got just Richard Hodgers, Musical Stages, an autobiography. Longhorn Territory. Oh, this is one of those great books where like you get to a certain page and you pick what happens. You pick whatever happens next. I kind of feel that's what life is like. It's kind of pre-written, but you get to make a few choices. Steinbeck, East of Eden, with like the guy who looks like James Dillon like a little bit. Phantom by Thomas Tesler. Something's very disturbing about this. Those childhood fears, those nameless terrors, they're real this time. That book has a disturbing cover. Summer of the Monkeys. Paul Wilson, The Tomb. All right, The Tomb and The Phantom. Look at these two scary, scary books. I like these horror books. All right, second to last book, Man's Mortalité. All right, depressing. Last book in the box, What Every Woman Should Know About Investing Her Money. Book zooming out. All right, and that's one more box for the books. All right, we've got plenty more to go just in this room, and we have 3 more buildings. So stay tuned. Lots and lots and lots of books to come. All right, I'm reading the biography of Yukio Mishima, and I will start making a few videos on his life. So far, his childhood is very strange.